do coach, there are times that I do actually coach in person, but the individuals who come into the office understand that they have to protect themselves and I have to protect them at the same time. So we shift a lot, but it was a necessary part of what we were doing.
Awesome, awesome. So your bio specifically speaks about empowering women of all ages. What advice do you have for some women who are struggling, who don't really believe in themselves?
Well, one of the things that I see a lot, or I often encounter with women, is that they don't have that self-confidence. And I often say to increase your faith and believe that you are capable to achieve or of achieving anything your heart's desire. As long as you set your mind up and you set your goals and your plan in place to achieve it, you can walk strongly, you can walk boldly, and you can walk purposefully into something that is already there. And it's that self-confidence already exists inside of most of us or all of us. We just have to tap into it. So I always say, analyze your negative self-talk. A lot of times the women talk to themselves and tell individuals, let's not just say women, individuals talk to themselves and say that they can't achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. But I think that's a time to question your faith. Do you have enough faith inside of you to achieve your deepest desires? Do you believe in yourself? Yeah. A lot of people think they're too old, especially when we get to a certain age in life. We feel like we're too old to go after whatever it is we want to achieve. We're too busy. We don't have the finances, or we don't have the knowledge to do it. And it puts us back. It sets us back. And we face these questions, as I stated before, as we embark on various stages of our lives, when the truth of it is, when you give up everything and you release those inner fears that you have, you free yourself to be everything that God has destined you to be. Mm-hmm. And that's really the gist of it all. My favorite affirmation is, I am enough. I am simply enough. Therefore, it does not matter what I'm lacking as I go forward, because God made sure that I am enough. I have enough. I lack nothing as I matriculate and move through life towards achieving. And sometimes I feel it's my wildest dreams, So I tell women, for every door that closes, there's a door that is either open or waiting to open for you. However, you have to have the confidence, you have to have the courage to get up and do what is necessary to locate that door. And then walk purposefully, walk confidently, and walk boldly through those open doors. And basically, we can achieve whatever it is our hearts desire if we simply believe in ourselves. So that's a big piece of it. I think the biggest piece of it is just believing that you can achieve whatever it is that you have set out to do.
Yeah. So Dr. G, so what keeps you going? What how you coach the coach? What stimulates you to make you keep going? How are you the Energizer Bunny?
Oh, I don't even know if I am the Energizer Bunny, but one of the things is that I really continuously take the time for myself. And when I don't, I crash and burn just like everyone else. I think self-care is an area that we lack in. And a lot of times we don't feel that we are even worthy enough to take the time to care for ourselves. We're so busy taking care of our kids. We're so busy taking care of our spouses, our families, that we neglect and negate from the necessary component of self-care. And I heard someone say once is that in order for you to be the best version of yourself, you have to take the time to fill up your cup, right? And not just fill it up, you got to fill it up without feeling guilty. And you have to fill it up until it overflows, right? And the concept of the overflowing is, once you fill your cup up and it overflows, what spills over is what I freely give to everyone else.
Oh, that's
awesome. Have everything in my saucer, but what's in my cup
It's
belongs
mine.
to me. And you
I
can't
love
have
it.
that.
I love it. I love
You
it. I
know?
love it.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a big piece of it through, and that is self-fulfilling for me. So if I try to pour from that cup and there's nothing in the saucer, in essence, I'm pouring from an empty vessel. And there's nothing to pour. Nothing comes out of an empty vessel except hot air.
Right.
So I really take the time to do what I have to do in order to care for myself, whether it's taking, I will shut down for days at a time. I will not, I'll work, but as far as anything else that's stimulating outside of that, I will not do it. I used to vacation a lot prior to the pandemic. So now we may do just quick getaways, or I may shut down in the house where I just don't feel like getting out of bed.
Yeah.
And if that's what I feel like doing, that's what I do.
Right. Right. That is so cool. So as a life coach, what is the one main area women seem to draw back from fulfillment of their desires to achieve success?
I think one of the areas is what we just spoke about is self-care. It's a lot of women feel guilty about taking that time out for themselves, when in essence, it's something that you should do because you can't serve anyone if you're empty. Especially during this pandemic, we've had to distance ourselves from everyone. We have had to take away going out, take away the things that would normally fulfill us. So we had to become creative in our self-care strategies. For example, one of the things that I enjoy probably more than anything else on this earth is to exercise. And when the pandemic hit, I could not go to the gym. And so I had to find other ways. I bought a treadmill for the house. I would go out and walk. I would do yoga. Yoga is one of the things that I enjoy. So you just have to find alternate things to do in order to keep yourself, going. What stimulates you? Exercise stimulates me. Something else may stimulate someone else. But right. I think what's most important is that our social distancing that was put on us as a result of the virus does not mean that we had to socially isolate ourselves. And I think at the beginning, so many of us socially isolated ourselves, where it impacted us on not just a physical basis, but it also impacted us on a mental basis. And at this point, a part of self-care is recognizing that it's okay to not be okay. And many of us were not okay during this pandemic. But because of where so many of us come from, it's not okay to not be okay. We internalize that, and we didn't seek assistance, or we didn't seek the necessary care in order to make it through. So one of the biggest things is, if you are not okay, it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to reach out for counseling. It's okay to reach out for guidance, and take your health and your wellness to the next level by doing so.
Well, I have a couple of more questions. One is, how do one find your book?
My book is on my website, and my website is www.shadesoflifehc.com. And when you go to the website, you will see, you can inquire about the business, you can inquire about life coaching, you can inquire about the Institute, and you can also purchase the book. The link will take you directly to Amazon. And that book, it's really, I use it simultaneously with my coaching practice, depending on what the individual is looking to achieve. But it's a phenomenal story of 12 women who has gone through obstacles and barriers in their lives. And these are true stories, and they share how they were able to start businesses, how they were able to achieve their success, how they were able to return to school, how they were able to come out of depression, and even just overall physical health. So it's a great book for someone who is just looking for that piece of encouragement.
Wow. I would be interested in having, if everyone that's in your book is still available, I would be interested in having you and the participants in your book on the show, and share little nuggets and help get the book out there, because I feel like this is the time where everyone needs self-care, and they need to know that they're not alone and other people struggle. You know, they go through the same type of struggles that you see your readers, you know, have already learned. But what about the people who haven't had a chance, the opportunity to get your book? So I think that would be something good to promote.
That would be something I would have to reach out to them to see if they would be interested in doing, because I did have them sign a confidentiality statement.
Yeah.
I didn't use their real name; they were fictitious names. So we would
Gotcha.
have to get their permission to do so. But I mean, if they agree, I would not mind. I did do a
or even just one or two, even just one or
even
two.
one or two. I've had
Yeah.
one or two who have come out in book readings and actually disclose themselves. So
okay, cool. That's good. That's good. Well, Dr. D, I wonder if our team has a question for you. Anyone have questions for Dr. D? I know we had a discussion on the other show on Thursday, that we said we had some questions for Dr. D. Aisha?
Just with everything going on in this current climate, after COVID and, you know, people social distancing, and I kind of feel like a lot of what I'm seeing now is the result of that, people social distancing and not being able to get the help that they need. What would you recommend if they don't have the resources, maybe the money to see a counselor, or, you know, like local resources that one would be able to utilize, just so that they're staying sane, they're okay, you know?
You know, that is, I'm thinking of a link that I'm going to have to send it to you. You may want to share it with your listeners, but that's a really good question. And that's the disparity that I think exists in our community. And the inequity in healthcare is that some people don't have the resources and they're going without. It's not that they're lacking, they just don't have it. So they can't seek the assistance. So I'm saying it's okay to not be okay, but it's also not okay to not be able to get the proper resources to help yourselves. I don't have an answer for you with that one, but I will definitely find out some information for you, Cammie, resources that are available that may help the individuals who don't have the funding or the insurance to seek assistance. And maybe you can share that with your viewers. That's a great question.
Oh, that's great. Anyone else?
Yes, Dr. Gibbs, I'm JB. And I wanted to know, along with all your achievements, how long have it taken you to achieve what you have achieved?
Oh my goodness. I've been in healthcare for almost 30 years, and it's probably been about that long.
Okay.
It's been over 30 years, and it's probably taking me about that long to just be able to do that. And this is the thing, JD, I think that's a great question. A lot of people think that you did it overnight. You know, nothing is done overnight. Mm-hmm. I was a stair stepper, meaning the first time when I went back, I was a CNA. I worked they weren't even certified when I went. You were just a
nursing assistant.
Nurse assistant, yep, an NA.
You were just a nurse's aide. There was no certification with it. And I don't mean it by saying just a nurse's aide. I mean there was no certification. Mm-hmm. You went in, they trained you, and they threw you to the wolves. So that was my training. And then I went back and I did my LPN. And I worked as a licensed practical nurse. I raised my kids for a little while. My husband was in the Navy. And during that time, I was working towards my RN. And then when I did my RN, I did my bachelor's, my master's after that, and then my doctorate. So it has definitely taken all this time to achieve all the things that I wanted to achieve. But it wasn't, I have it'll be 31 and 29-year-old. But I don't think I was complete in being the woman that I am today until my children left home. And I was like, okay, so now what do I do? I've spent all this time raising my children, serving the Navy or the military through my spouse, because he was the one that was in. So what do I do now? And that's when I think I catapulted to the next level, because I was living for me at this point and I was not living for everyone else.
Right.
Okay. Okay, I have a question, last but not least, of course. Ron Foster here. When you notice that is someone that there's someone that might need help, how do you even approach that person, or do you consult with someone they may know that they're close with? How do you approach that? Just if you notice someone isn't okay and they may not, you see them in a manic stage, or you understand what I'm saying? How do you approach that?
Well, it depends on, first of all, on the individual. I know I've encountered a lot of individuals during this pandemic who were not okay, and they didn't recognize that they were okay. And that's a part of the process, it's a part of the disease. I think it depends on the stage. If it's someone who may somewhere be somewhat elusive, you may be able to talk to that individual. But if they are not, or if they will be antagonistic, it will definitely behoove you and them to reach out to someone that may be closer to them, that may be able to really get them the help that they need. So if you're working with someone in the office, for example, who is not okay, and you know they are beyond approaching, you may then take it to HR so that they can reach out to that individual's family to see what resources they can get. A lot of jobs have resources that can help individuals or lead them in the directions of receiving assistance. But if you are talking about a family member, then that may be someone close to them, or just finding them the resources and see if you can maybe assist them in getting to that place.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's helpful.
Well, Dr. D, or Aisha normally has something, a little gift with what she does. Do you have a moment to receive her gift?
Sure.
Okay, Miss Aisha.
I drew some cards before we got started, and basically just everything that you're speaking of, Miss Dr. Gibbs, it's the spirit is in agreement. I mean, when you were speaking, I was just like, wow, awesome. Just you were dropping some nuggets and just really pouring out. What I pulled for you is about clearing past blockages, and being able, what I'm getting from that is to step out and in boldness. And you are pretty much doing that with all that you do. Spirit was confirming to me that you are a mystic healer. You know, that is why you are in the nature of the business that you are in. And so with that, you are finding like a great amount of abundance because of that. So, and it just, everything that you said was pretty much resonating with me and the messages that I have been getting through. So I just, you know, kudos to you. I think you're doing a fantastic job. You are a wonderful pillar of the community. So just keep it up. Yeah,
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank
and then
you.
Also to what you said about helping one to be the better version of themselves, that just really resonated with me. That's actually part of my mission statement in my company. So I was just like, yes. So yes, keep it up. You're wonderful. So
thank you.
That's what I have.
Well, Dr. D, thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, you have anything else for Dr. D? We're all good. Okay, well, Dr. What?
Just keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I did have one other question.
Yeah.
What brings you the source of joy about what you do? What is the thing that just really excites you the most?
I think it depends on what I'm working on. But I think seeing an individual go to the next level, whatever that level will be, if I'm working with a client and in the coaching practice, just to see them, even if it's just figuring out how to get their goals on paper and putting an action plan in place. If I'm working with a client, it may be when I first went into the home, this client may not be able to wash his face, but by the time I leave, they know how to wring the wash rag and wipe their face. Those types of things, the simple things, the simple movement of an individual from one level to the next, I think fulfills me and it helps me to go on and just help the next person.
That's awesome. That is so
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, baby, we can go on for days. Dr. D, we do want to have you back on the show. Thank you for being a part of our relaunching of SKST Radio Network. I did this 10 years ago in Dallas, Texas. And as you can see, everyone on this panel is my old crew, with the exception of Ron Foster, who is new. And so we're just so excited to be able to bring this to another level, because we were radio. So radio, now we're video, and we're still getting the bumps and bruises out of it, but we're enjoying it. And to meet people like you, phenomenal sheroes, and you are our shero for today. We have you listed on our social media as our shero, and we want you to keep going and stay encouraged and know that you are not alone. We are here for you. This little team, 2 in Texas and 2 here. So, so know that we love you and we do appreciate you. You embraced me from day one. As an individual, as a friend, and I'm so proud to be able to say that you are a friend and someone new in my life that God put in my pathway. So I'm honored to know you and be a part of your life as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Dr. Gibb.
You as well.
We love you.
Thank you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that was a phenomenal guest. Woohoo! I'm so excited.
Yes, it was.
Now, Miss Aisha, since you had the floor, go ahead and give us our readings for today.
So our readings for today, it's always interesting because when I pull readings for the special guests, it's usually tied around to what they have going on as well. So our collective reading is just basically to take time. One of the things that she mentioned was really about self-care again. And I'm finding that this is coming up a lot, even in my readings, just because of the climate that we're in. So again, you know, Spirit is communicating. You know, we're dealing with turbulent times. So it's very, very, very crucial and very critical and important to make sure that you are taking the time out and doing self-care. But at the same time, you know, I'm also getting a message come through that we are not to lose sight of our goals and to make sure that you are doing steady progress. But in doing so, not to be overwhelmed, but taking one step at a time and just moving forward movement, one step at a time.
Nice.
And so that's what I have for the group today.
Thank you. Thank you. Ron, what you got?
Okay. As I always say, we must take care of ourselves a little better. Sugar is, everyone's so addicted to sugar. And as I said before, I was going to start introducing some products that I use that help me. What is this? Mayo. One of my favorite flavors is the lemon and then also the orange vanilla. Guys, when I tell you this is awesome, including in alcohol drinks. This gives you the flavor that you're missing. It has zero everything, and it gives you great energy at the same time. Please try this. This is a great product. All right, that's all I have.
All right. JBC.
What's up, family? What's up, family? How y'all doing?
Hey.
Well, what I came up with today, Kim, is just winning don't always mean being first.
Okay.
Which means you can be in second place and still win the race.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I think you can be dead ass last and still win. You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't make first place, people get complacent or upset, or it takes them out of whack. But you know, if you just sit and just relax and be humble and take things day by day, you know, sometimes your second place can be better than the first place. I think now it's really just a name. saying first place and, you know, winning means first place. When in fact, you know, you can be second place and still win the race and still get your, you know, your how can I say, cake and ice cream at the same time.
Right, right.
So I think second place still win the race. So, you know, winning don't always mean being first. Or first don't always, you know?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I just wanted to say thank you for another great show. I want to thank our Facebook people who joined us live today. We are moving to a different platform next week, so it's going to be different. We're still learning. I want to thank Dr. D for being our special guest today, and she was just awesome. She was just awesome. You know, self-care is it, and we have to take care of ourselves in order to take care of someone else. So if you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of someone else? I'll leave you today with that little nugget. And we want to make sure everyone knows to go to our YouTube channel. And what do you do when you go to our YouTube channel? You like,
share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. We want you to like, share, and subscribe. SKST Radio. Each and one of us, we all have we have a website, and we're all on our page. We would love to hear from you. Please feel free to contact us through skstradio.com. We want to thank our whole team. We got a lot of cool things coming your way. We're partnering up with a whole different crew of people that's doing a whole bunch of positive things in the community. So until next week, it takes teamwork to make the dream work, and you're a part of that team. Thank you for making us a part of the day.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay.
All right.